Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be replacing the rear wiper motor on a Audi Q5. So this one has stopped working intermittently. Basically what's happened is a washer jet has leaked as it's piped internally through the wiper motor all over its own circuit boards and caused it to sometimes work, sometimes not, sometimes switch on and just stay on when it shouldn't be on, all sorts of issues. So today we're going to be removing that and fitting a new unit. So first thing we're going to have to do is remove this, get the wiper off out of the way, and then we'll be opening the tailgate and taking the panel off inside. So first we need to remove this cover. I found the easiest way to do this would be to put a screwdriver in here, lift one corner out, one side out, and it just pops off like so. Now there you can see the washer jet. Got to remove that to get to the nut. That's quite easy. That also just pushes on. Very easy to prise off. Make sure this is clean, blockage free before it goes back on. So if you've got an airline or something, blow it out with that. As you can see, a little bit of dirt in there. I think that's a lot of the cause for the problem. They block up and start leaking internally. And then we need to undo this 13mm bolt here. Now if you're lucky, you might just be able to wiggle this off and work it. I sprayed it with a bit of WD-40 in there because my one's quite rusty. If you can't get it off, you may have to get yourself a wiper arm puller. Now I'm going to use one today. Wiper arm puller looks something like that. It basically presses against the shaft, it pulls the wiper arm off so you don't, hopefully, break the wiper arm. So I'll set this up and we'll see if this one works. There we go. That's just released. So now we can remove this and take our nut back out. I'll put the nut back on just to give the puller something to press against. Also it protects the shaft. Not that I'll be using this one again, but in case you are using your old motor at home. So there we go. That's the arm off. Next thing we've got to do is open the tailgate, take the cover off inside. Okay guys, now we're in here. There's a few covers we've got to take off. This one and this one. Okay, so we use a flat screwdriver and prise these covers off. There you go, a little bit difficult with one hand here. But yeah, you should be okay at home. There's only a couple of small clips holding it. And then once you get those covers off, you'll see these T25 Torx bolts underneath. Now, essentially, this is what holds them on. So, in where your hazard warning triangle is and those little covers that give you access to the bulbs, that's what you need to get off, and then you can get to the 4 bolts. And that's pretty much, apart from the securing clips, that's what holds it on. So get these out first. And then what you need to do is prise the inner cover off. I used a trim removal tool here, plastic, so it doesn't do any damage to the paintwork. And just run along it because there's quite a few clips in it. And prise it out. As you can see there's about one every sort of 10 to 15 centimetres or so. Prise them all out and try and have someone with you to catch it, because it does like to fall down, like so. And then if you've got the electronic tailgate like this car did, there'll be a plug for that button and a plug for the light. So that's the plug there for the tailgate. So there's a little tab right there, and if you push that in, that will easily release, so you might need a little screwdriver to do that. And then you'll have basically the same for the interior light, and then you can take the panel away and put it on the floor, out of the way. Here's the panel removed. So these are the clips. There's quite a few of them, as you can see. They're quite strong clips, so you will need a pry tool to pull that off. You could use something like a screwdriver, but it may do some damage. Now, this is the wiper motor itself. As you can see, it's been leaking internally. That's why it's got the rusty watermarks. And what happens is the washer jet is actually piped through the wiper motor. So it can leak, it cracks, it must fracture internally, and then it tends to leak, and leaks all over the electrics inside. That's what causes the problem. I think it mainly happens because the washer jet probably doesn't get used very often on the rear, and it blocks, and it builds up the pressure, and it has to go somewhere, and it finds a weak point within the motor. So here we go. So we remove this tab to get the pipe off. So this pipe here is for the actual washer jet itself, so water runs through there. Okay, now with that removed, you've got 3 10mm nuts holding the wiper motor to the tailgate. So you need to, as you can see, there's 1, 2, 3 here. You need to remove those, and of course the electronic plug, which you can see is already removed. And then your wiper motor should come away. Like so. And there you have it. So this is obviously the original one that was fitted to the car from new. So it's the original Audi one. Looks perfectly fine, apart from obviously the water leak into the electrics, which is a bit of a problem. So now I didn't get a replacement from Audi for this. I picked up one off eBay. This is the one I did, which is an aftermarket, and it was from a company called Pro Tuning Tools, and it was very cheap. It was £28.75p. As you can see, there it is. Looks okay, fitted okay, bolted in all right. Here you can see it's back in with 3 10mm nuts. And yeah, so it's cheap and cheerful replacement. I think a new one from Audi was approximately £180, something like that. So I thought I'd go for, as it was a rear wiper motor, which doesn't get used very often, I thought I'd go for the eBay special. And yes, I plugged it in. I believe there's a 4-pin and a 3-pin plug. Mine was a 4-pin. And the only real issue I found with it was the washer pipe. When I reconnected it, it didn't feel like it was going to stay there. I wasn't 100% confident with the securing clip in it. So I pushed it on, pushed the clip in, and I could still remove it, as you can see there. So what I've done, I actually put a cable tie on it to keep that clip secure, and just hold it onto the pipe a little bit tighter, as you can see coming up. And after that, put the rear wiper on. Take note of the position, guys, where it should be. Obviously, if it's stopped in the middle of the screen or something, maybe run the motor a couple of times first and let it come back to its natural resting point. Otherwise, you could end up washing your boot lid rather than your actual window. So here's me putting the washer back on. Make sure you blow that out before fitting it. Now guys, up to you whether you do this or not. It's probably just better to get a new washer from Audi. But I opened up the holes a little bit with a very small drill bit. I thought it's probably got less chance of getting blocked then if the holes are bigger. Don't be stupid like me and put it in a vise, please, when you do it. But that's up to you. So there you go. That's the job all done. Pretty easy DIY job. You can do that at home. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.